Hello, this is Chet Lampert. My journey to personal freedom. About a week ago, I think I talked last, and so I'll just give you an update on what's been going on so far. My mic's always terrible. So I think last time I got to the point where I took all that data and the machine, really wasn't learning that well. So I can kind of go a little bit more into what I've done with the machine learning part since then. I've, like I said, I think I said last time I had the 36 features of, all kinds of stuff. Well, then I went through and fixed some averaging issues that I was having because I learned that I was averaging some of the data wrong. So I fixed that and got it to train a little bit better. The more things I added, the more things I played with, I got a little bit better. I could get to about, I can get like 100% on training data, but only 70% on validation data, which isn't 70 to 80% on validation data, which is actually, I need the validation data to be close to 100%, not the training data. That's the way it works. The training data is fine, but it's learning the data. It's not, there's something wrong with what's going on. So I actually talked to Yadu today via text. I plan on going out there. He's like main man machine learning, and he's an old buddy of mine. We went through the trenches together, so I think I've definitely mentioned Yadu in the past. I'll explain everything I'm doing to him. I'll show him what I've got, all the details, all the stuff I've tried, and I'm sure he's gonna have some very good insight to where I can go from here to get better. And so I'm pretty confident on that. I'm just gonna keep moving forward on TI stuff. So that 1352 processor with the little board and the sensor, I soldered up a whole setup. So I got 4 sensors all soldered to the different wires, and they're all can get back to the TI board, all powered off one power supply, and so that in the future I can actually power them all from a battery once I get all the software kind of going, and then get them sewed up on a, I'm thinking I'll probably get a, like leggings that maybe have feet so that I can sew the stuff on specific spots. Like I'll be able to sew I'll stand up to show you. I'll be able to sew like the board over here, and then one of the sensors here, and then I'll be able to sew like the battery maybe over here, and then on the way down I'll be putting, so that's one sensor, I'll put one like here, and then like I said before on your foot. So that's, fix this. That's kind of the plan for now. We know a seamstress, she does dance with, her daughter does dance with my daughter, so I'm pretty sure she won't have a problem being able to hook something up. The boards are really small. I think I showed you the boards before, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem. But I've got to get all the software working. So since before the last time I talked a week ago, I got the software working so that I can do the I2C interface on the sensor controller module. But reading more into it, you can't do it on your own with the sensor controller module because they don't expose the proper interfaces. This is what my buddy at TI, he's like the expert in microprocessors. He's our rep for my company, but that I work at, that I've known him for, I went to school with him, so I know him pretty well. He says, yeah, it's not exposed, but maybe the people in Oslo can hook me up. But I'm not really worried about that. I've thought of another way to do it where I'm going to use a different method. I'm going to use GPIOs to control the switching between the pin being an output versus an input. And that way I can just use either inputs or outputs, not a bidirectional, to do the interface that I need. And then that way I can do all 4 sensors at the same exact time, so I can get all the data at the same time and do this thing as fast as possible, which would save the most power, so that I could, like if I can shut down, I can shut down as long as possible. And just that sensor controller is going to be spinning, running with the switch that does the inputs to outputs and outputs to inputs back and forth, and it should get me the best that I can get. I should be able to peg those sensors to get all the data I can possibly can off of them at the maximum 400 kilohertz, and that's what I've got running right now. I've got the interface running at 400 kilohertz, so it's working pretty damn good. I can talk to the sensor just fine. Now I'm changing the interface now to my own, you know, like hack way, but just so I can do all four at the same time, because there's no way to do all four. You got to do them in series, like a serial. I do one, then the next, and the next, and the next. That takes me, you know, 4 times as long to get the data. If I do it my way, I'll be all the data at once. You know, I'll be able to read them all. So that's the plan. Other than that, that's been actually a ton of work. I've had to go through. They had this they call it an academy with a bunch of labs and explanations and stuff and some examples, but nothing like exactly what I need, of course. But I was able to fumble through all that that ecosystem and the building and everything and the debugging, and I kind of get the world now. Not 100%. You know, I doubt I'll ever get it 100%, but I don't really need to. I get it enough to do what I did, and there's just a little bit more learning that I need to do, and then I'll be able to do the most. I've got the muxes coming in. I ordered 2 different kinds. One's a big part that I can like get the thing operational just to try. It's high current, but so I'm not going to use it. But then I got the actual part that I'm probably going to use on the board. It draws like 40 microamps when it's switching. So I'm pretty sure it only draws it while it's switching, but I'm gonna find out with the board eventually, you know, like hook it up and see what the power numbers are. That's what I need to know. If it's too much, if I have to optimize something, I can swap sensors. At this point, I can do just about anything I want because I've gotten most of the pieces well understood. You know, the only thing I don't have understood, which is just the next step, and I'm sure it's not going to be a big deal, is that the TI Bluetooth LE stuff. So, but there's an example program, and it's got an example receiving program on the other side. So I get that example working, and I see how they're pushing data through. It's money. I got it. So I should be able to do that. Imagine by the time I meet with Yadu, I'm hoping in a couple weeks, I'll have the complete system running with data being stored. I won't have all the software complete, like start, stop dancing, categorizing what dance you're doing, or what. That's going to be kind of hard coded for now. But I'll have like a button, or I don't know how I'm going to start it. Actually, I have to think about that. But for now, I guess got to get all the sensors talking at the same exact time with the switching on the multiplex lines. Get all the data going over the air via Bluetooth reliably. Make sure that link is 100% dead nuts reliable. Like I'll do a test where I just rail it with data, and I put like checksums on the data, or I just put a counter and see how robust is that interface. Can I trust it to get the data across accurately? And if I can, that's the kind of stuff I do all the time. Like to validate an interface, you beat the crap out of it with every way you can that you can think of that things could go wrong or right or whatever. Just exercise the interface. Once you are confident, then you just pound it with a ton of data. And then hopefully it's just going to work. And if it doesn't work, then you find out what's wrong. What did you do wrong? Because I'm sure you did something wrong, or there's something wrong. There's an errata on the part. That's like they advertise what's wrong when people have found things, and they call it errata on these parts. So we'll see. That's just the next step. This is all, one thing after the other. It's stuff I've done before. The one thing I'm not sure of, and that's why I'm going out to California to see my buddy, is the machine learning part, where I've done a lot, and I think I kind of get what's going on. The whole thing. It's just I want his opinion on how to, what's the right way to spend time. What's the most valuable way I can spend time to get me to the end result, or even better, will he work with me? That would be awesome, because then I know if it can be done, it will be done, and it will be freaking awesome. That's what I know. I know my part's going to work. The stuff I'm doing right now, that's going to be dead nuts on. So I got no problem with that. That stuff I haven't worked with these parts, but I've worked with stuff just kind of similar to this. So I see the end. I see a product. Now I just gotta just finish, just work. Get it done. That's what I'm doing every day, and trying to take Sundays off, trying to make sure to spend time with my daughter. That's the hard part. Is not, I gotta try to not work myself to death because I'm working a lot. That's because I still got a full-time job that I gotta do. I gotta put my hours in, my 40 hours, 45 hours, whatever it takes. So that's gotta be done. That's important. Also, I mean, I don't have the passion for that, clearly, that I do it for my own stuff, but it's the work I'm on right now is actually kind of cool. It's stuff, I like the people a lot that I'm working with, and I've worked with them before. It's not with my old boss, so it's with this other group, under this girl Kieran up in Schaumburg. So they're a really good team. This guy Mike up there is super guy, and everyone's very willing to help, and everyone's it's like a team. It's a good feeling when I work with these people, not so much with some other people I've worked with in the past, like groups. I just get a better vibe. I wish I was working for that team. Actually, I've tried to move over. That's one of the things I've been slowly trying to work. I just want to work with those people more and not less, and less with the people that I'm actually report to. So that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to get moved over, but I'm going slowly. I'm making sure there's a spot for me, making sure they really want me, because I don't want to move if people don't want me. And moving for me is just because I get better work over there. But even if I don't move, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing my journey to personal freedom. This is the most important thing that for me right now. And my family's most important, but this is right there. This professionally, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm gonna make, no matter what, I'm making this product. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm making the best I can. Only thing that's gonna stop me is the machine learning part. I can't imagine a better person to help to make sure that part's gonna go right than my buddy Yadu. So we'll see how it goes. That's kind of all I had. Get back to testing. I just got to change the interface right now to the other part, and then once I do that, then hook the mux up so I got all four at the same time. Then I'm gonna start. Then I'm gonna look at the Bluetooth LE stuff, and then once I got that, I think I got enough to actually like show something, like put it together, put it on somebody, and do some real testing and get real information. So we'll see. All right, my journey to personal freedom, Chet Lampert. It is September 17th, 2019. Talk to you next time. Bye.